Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لَيْسَ بِأَمَانِيِّكُمْ وَلَا أَمَانِيِّ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مَنْ يَعْمَلْ سُوءًا يُجَزَ بِهِ. And this is the part of the ayah. So it's not about what you wish or not about the wishes of the people of the book. Whoever does evil will be requited for it. They're going to have to answer for it. Some of the companions in Sahih Muslim, the narration mentions that some of the companions were very disturbed when they heard this, because who doesn't do some level of su? Who doesn't do some sins? And in other narrations in the Muslim, Imam Ahmad mentions that, one of the people was actually Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu himself, who went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and showed his concern. And so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, not as your understanding. He said, Alasta tansab, alasta tahzan. Do you not, face some difficulty? Do you not find yourself exhausted at times? And in some of the other narrations, it talks about even being pricked by a thorn, that all of this is the jaza of the believer, right? So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing those difficulties to the believer in this life that expiates their sins for them. There's nothing that a believer faces in this life of harm, of even emotional stress that a believer goes through, seeking the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being patient with it, except that they're rewarded for it. So this is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned to the companions, that it's not as you think that you're going to face that punishment in the hereafter from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example, and this is a famous one that comes from Surah Al-An'am, but I think it's very important for us to ponder over it, because again, the Quran was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, who was talking primarily to this group of the people who understood Arabic the best, and yet they still had questions. How much more so for a person who's reading a translation, for example, and we don't even know if the translation is correct. In any event, so when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Those who believe, or those who have faith, and then do not mix their faith with dhulm. Now, dhulm, linguistically, it means any wrongdoing, any form of oppression, whether a person is oppressive in their relationship between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether they're oppressing themselves or oppressing other people. Those who believe and do not mix their faith with wrongdoing, أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. They are the ones who have security, and they are the ones who are guided. When this ayat was revealed, some of the companions went to the Prophet ﷺ, and they said to him, وَأَيُّنَا لَمْ يَظْلِمْ نَفْسَهُ. And who amongst us has not harmed himself or wronged himself? And the Prophet ﷺ said, it's not as your understanding. Have you not heard the statement of Al-Abd al-Salih, the righteous servant, Luqman, when he said to his son, إِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. Oh, my son, do not associate partners with Allah. Do not commit shirk. Indeed, shirk is a great sin. Or it is a great dhulm. It is a great wrongdoing. So here he's saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying those who believe and don't mix their iman with shirk, right? So they heard this, it bothered them. They went and sought clarification from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. I think it's very important for us to just take a step back very quickly. If we think about those three examples, we see that something first disturbed them. And I don't mean that they were questioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or they were questioning the veracity of the Quran. No, but they, inside of themselves, something didn't feel right. And because it didn't feel right, they went and they sought an answer. Now, here, the point to note is that they had the greatest person on earth to ask any question ever about the deen, and that's the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So it wasn't like they were at a loss of who can they go to. And I think it's very important for us as well that as we read the Quran and we come across things that maybe we're not understanding, or we realize that something is, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable about this, that we seek out knowledgeable people who can answer those questions for us. You can start local. You can start with your local imam, whoever you have a relationship with. And then now with this virtual world that a lot of us live in, you can even ask many people virtually. And that is a favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that did not exist even, just a couple decades ago. I mean, not to mention, hundreds of years ago, but just even a couple decades ago, the thought that you'd be able to connect with, scholars all over the world and be able to ask some of the questions that you have to get clarification, it just didn't exist. In fact, even the literature did not exist to clarify certain things.